Hello, hello, hello. What's good, everybody? Getting a little bit of a late start, but we are here and ready to go. And the one who's here with me and ready to do it is the man with more reaction than Reebok. Ladies and gentlemen, you already know it's the one, the only, a Fandom D Saint. What's good, brother?
Yeah, after watching episode, what was it, 6? I was so pissed off I did not get the Black Noir Funko Pop.
Oh, what? He's like, I did not like the way they brought in Black Noir. Are we ever going to get to see like more of his skills? Like, I see that he comes in, he's got his little, his knives. He's got that knife work and stuff. But I mean, are we going to see like what he can really do one of these days?
Bro, the female, no one is able to kick her ass. He comes in the first time we see him in action, sliced her up.
He said sliced her up and left her for dead. That wasn't nothing nice. What's up, AK Watch? I see you out there. We got Celebrity Bikini in the house. Good to see you. Good to see you. What's good, everybody? Hope you guys like these episodes. Man, I'm telling you, I'm doing a rewatch, and I forgot more than I remembered about this show. Like, I forgot all about the female. Like, it was crazy. I'm so glad we're doing this rewatch before I'm hitting season 2 because I had some catching up to do. How about you?
Now I pretty much remember stuff, just the journey of how they got to those points.
Oh,
Like,
man.
I knew she was a terrorist. As well as this, when in the next episode, we're going to learn like about the brother. I noticed it was this episode. But yeah, I just forgot like how she got into like how she like got her ability specifically.
Black Noir ain't innocent at all. When you really see what he's about, just remember he's worse in the comics. Oh man, he ain't nothing nice. I mean, at this point, I don't think anybody on the Seven's nice. I think Queen Maeve is a little upset and sad about some of the things she's done and has a little remorse. But other than her and Maeve or Starlight, I don't think there's anybody redeemable on this Seven. Like they're all terrible, terrible people.
I thought what was that guy's name? The Torch guy, who was like former Seven member.
The
I
lamp.
thought I thought he was kind of nice. And then we got the episode where we learn he just torched those grandkids. I'm like, damn.
You can't tell me you torched a bunch of grandkids and you're a good human being. There ain't nothing right. Nothing right with that. It's terrible. I just binged 2 seasons a couple of days ago, so I have a pretty good handle on it. Oh, wow. I have not seen yet. Like I said, I have not even started season 2. Know nothing about it. Just getting my rewatch on 1. Got these 2, the next 2, and then I am totally ready to jump in. Just head
Hell, I remember a time Slavery King even want to watch this show. Guess he got up.
He finally caught up. Maeve and Starlight are the only redeemable ones for sure. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, I can't wait to get into season 2. I'm so excited. Like, I love this show. I love everything about it, the way it's set up, the premise. Like, yeah, I love everything about this show. It's amazing. I'm getting it. And this is The Boys Season 1, Episode 5, and it's called Good for the Soul. And we start out with Pop Claw on the run and hiding out in Mexico, and she was doing so well and staying strong, not telling A-Train who she told about the V. But of course, as soon as she caved and told, he instantly killed her, making it look like a suicide. Like, would you ever want to date a suit knowing how dangerous it would be if you ever angered him?
If so, they better not be as strong as A-Train or have an ability that can kill me in an instant.
Oh, man, I'm telling you, if you're a suit, they got something that could probably do it. Even Pop Claw could probably take you down. I mean, she might have to dose up to do it, but she's all killing people just squeezing her butt cheeks together.
And just to think how fast he is, in order to, inject her with those needles, it's like slowed down for like everyone else. Like, oh my gosh, this is crazy.
Yeah, that'd be a nightmare. But A-Train runs back to Homelander to tell him it's done and promises to quit the V cold turkey. And you think he's going to be able to quit?
Hell no.
He's too much of a junkie?
This is Compound V. This ain't no typical street drug.
It's once it gets you, it's got you. Gets his hook in you, that's it. And how creepy was that when Homelander said, bring it in for a hug, and then said, I love you. I'll always be watching over you. Always. I was like, oh, man, that would not be nothing nice having a man like that hanging over you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would just be scary dealing with these suits. And what do you think will happen, like, if he doesn't end up finding the missing Asian girl? Do you think Homelander will just end up killing him off? Like, would he get mad enough to just end a suit?
It seems like Homelander needs the 7. Even though he's even stronger than all of them, he just needs someone to be able to control.
And yeah, somebody that's close enough to his wavelength that he can deal with. Like he can't even handle like humans, regular humans. It doesn't feel like you have to be like super just to even deal with him, and he knows he's still got you and owns you. So yeah, that would be crazy.
Because when Translucent got was like missing, at first he was like, wait, does he actually care for Translucent? But no, it's just kind of like just for his image.
Or yeah, I mean that's the way he made it sound. Or maybe he had a little more respect for Translucent because from what everybody else thought, Translucent was unkillable. Like they basically thought he was immortal. There's nothing you could do to this man. So maybe Homelander like respected that as him being the second strongest one on the team.
Maybe. Well,
I
in
mean,
terms of durability, yeah.
because I mean Homelander could have even opened up them eyes on him and fried him out, and he couldn't hurt Translucent. So, and that's what I was thinking. Like Translucent, like how do you hurt him? Like he has unpenetrable skin, but what happens if you take him to like the top of a Sears Tower and drop him? You know what I mean? What if you take him to the top of a big building and drop him? To like, do his bones all crumble inside, or is his skin so strong that he makes it and he's okay?
You got to test this theory.
I'm telling you, I was thinking about that going off. I was like, well, man, I know his skin can't be pierced, but can you like shatter the bones inside it if you drop them? Or like if Homelander punched him hard enough, would that be enough to shake his insides up and mess him up? I don't know. That's kind of crazy. Yeah, my mind just cannot stop. But is Frenchie ever going to learn, or is he going to prevail and actually break through with that little girl? Like he cooked an amazing meal for her, and she just wants to rip his face off.
Wait, which character?
The female, the little Asian chick. They just call her the female on the show.
I don't know why they, of all things, to call her it's the female.
So stupid, yeah. Until we get her name. Like later on, we find out that she's Komito or Komiko, but yeah, for now they just call her the female. It's crazy.
It was a comic book, so it's like, just roll with it.
Right, exactly. But Starlight invited Huey on a date, but is surprised he actually accepted. It's a religious rally, and Billy thought this would be a great time to gather more intel. And I mean, they are just towing a fine line, aren't they? I mean, what happens when Starlight finds out that what Huey's up to? Like, he's going to be putting himself into a position, isn't he?
Mm-hmm.
That's just dangerous as hell. And Starlight's mom didn't seem too impressed with Huey. Is she going to become a problem later on?
Hell, like Starlight introduced Huey as a friend. I was like, damn, is he in the friend zone or what? When I heard that, it was a dagger in my heart.
But I mean, that's kind of always like when you're first kind of hooking up with somebody, they always introduce you as a friend. Like that's where it starts with everybody, isn't it?
Nah, they say, oh, this is so and so. They don't say it's a friend.
Trying to friend zone them right out of the gate. It was nice to see at least Queen Maeve like seems to have a little bit of a conscience. Like Homelander just had no remorse talking about all the people he basically sent to their death in that plane crash. But at least Queen Maeve like looked like she at least felt bad about it.
Yeah.
Is she going to turn around and be one of the good guys by the end of this, you think?
I think she was again, like she was like just like Starlight. Then she pretty much had a rough path and did like some type of effed up stuff. But then she had like a change of heart.
Basically hanging out. Oh, what's up? I see you out there, Iron Throne. Yeah, basically hanging out with Homelander and knowing there's nothing you can do about him. You basically just have to bend to his will. I mean, what could you do? It's crazy. Celebrity Bikini says, I've never introduced a girl to my mother as anything other than a friend, right? That's what I'm saying. Like, that's just real life. That's kind of how it goes down. And Tron says it's a friend with extra benefits. It's always extra benefits when you're dealing with a soup. Oh, man, absolutely. Absolutely. Oh, but how about Billy talking all that ish about like the Lord to that old man? Like, did you just call the Lord a C word? Like, he was all appalled, but Billy's like, hey, I'll be here all day. Like, I was kind of dying on that spot.
That's probably the most funniest thing in the entire episode.
Oh, that dude's face was so priceless. Did you just call the Lord the C word? I was dying. I was like, this show is everything. And it's such a hard spot to be in, like actually having a beautiful soup that seems to be into you and actually still mourning like your dead girlfriend that got imploded right in front of you by another soup. Like, man, how hard a spot is Huey in right now?
Hell, he even saw like the ghost of Robin again. It's like every other episode, it's like the ghost of Robin, the ghost of Robin. Is she even like wearing the same thing?
Yeah, what she died in. So creepy. So creepy. That would be a rough spot to be in, just the mental kicking in. But we see Homelander is basically like a little kid when he doesn't get his way. He pouts and gets real mean. And when he said Madeline's baby was just an accessory, I was just like, damn, that was so cold. But again, what could you really ever do to the most powerful man on the planet, no matter how rude he gets?
Absolutely nothing.
Oh, man, that would be a terrible spot to be in. You just want to claw his eyes out and you know there's nothing you can do to this man. That would be horrifying. I can't even imagine being in that spot. But it looks like the call Billy got earlier was someone telling him that his sister-in-law had put a headstone of Becca, his missing wife, in the ground. She just wants a place for her mom to be able to go and talk to her daughter, but Billy flips his shit. Like, can he really blame her for wanting closure with this whole situation?
Nope. And I get like his oh my gosh, Butcher's situation where it's that hope that she's like still alive.
Yeah, you never want to give up.
At the same time, the other family needs some type of a closure, and that was like the best thing to do is put a tombstone there so that the mother can actually like communicate with something.
Absolutely. We got an AK saying you got to remember Maven Homelander actually used to date. That's why he's so extra with her. She broke up with him and he'd be jealous. The jealous Chad type. Man, that's the other thing. It's like, what do you do? I mean, there is nothing that could handle. Yeah. But did she break up with him? You think she's the one that broke up with him? I didn't get that out of it. I just know that they used to date and she doesn't want to rehash or talk about it anymore. But I mean, can you ever break up with a Homelander? Don't you just kind of have to do you and hope that he breaks up with you or breaks it off with you? Because, man, yeah, you break it up with him and watch out. You ever seen that show, My Super Ex-Girlfriend?
Yo, I was literally thinking about that. It's like, well, how could you like break up with someone like Homelander?
You don't. Not if you want to stay around and talk about it. And it looks like A-Train is having some feels about offing his girl. Like, he's watching some old movies they made, but he got a little more than he was ready for when he got to see that he wasn't the only one making movies with her. And then he also got to see Frenchie's face. Like, how hard would that be? Sitting there watching some of those crazy old movies you make, and then all of a sudden it keeps going, and you find out you're not the only one that's been a star with her.
Tragic. And then she literally kills him.
Yeah, and then you watch her like squeeze a man's face off with her ass cheeks. Oh my god.
You could be like, that could have been me.
Oh, that could, yeah, it'd be having you feel some kind of way. That's just nuts. But A-Train, yeah, that was nuts. But he did see Frenchie's face, so you already know that's going to be a problem. And A-Train takes the picture into the vault layer to get some info on him, and he only finds out that Frenchie has about 32 aliases. Like, who is this guy? It also looks like he's bringing Black Noir in to help out on this. Like, are we finally going to get to see what this man does? Like, that's all I want to do is like see Black Noir go off. Like, what is his role?
I need to see Black Noir talk, unless he's a mute. But I gotta see this man talk. Right? See his face, damn it.
Yeah, they have to show us sooner or later. But back out at the Holy Rollers Fair, it looks like Huey got his ticket, and Homelander seems to take notice and wants to know what's up with this guy that Starlight's getting these expensive-ass tickets for. That is not one man you want owning in on you as Homelander. It's like, Huey, is he just getting in over his head or what?
Yep. He seems to like it, though.
He seems to be rolling with it.
Because Lomi's like, wait, Starlight introduced you? It's like he's making sure like he knows everyone, all their info, all their dirt from the Seven. Because it seems like Homelander barely knows Starlight, so like this is like one thing, one leverage he has on her. Well, if you don't do as I say, boom, I'll kill Huey.
Exactly. And that's just it. I mean, what kind of position, like, even if like Starlight forgives him and like, oh, I see and I understand, like the rest of the Seven's not going to understand. Like when they find out who Huey is and he's trying to get in on Starlight's tail, like what kind of position is that putting her in? Like she's going to be in a bad spot because they're all going to think, you know, if they find out, they're going to think that she's in on it because she's basically a newbie too. Like, oh, did you just come in and try to become one of the Seven to take us down from the inside? Like that's putting her in a dangerous spot. And how was Huey like a tech guy but not smart enough to pull out his phone before getting dunked in the water?
I was saying the same thing, but again, at one time I did go into I went to the beach, and stupid me, I did forget I had my phone in my pocket, so it's like, I relate to that.
Oh, Celebrity Bikini says date. I think the psycho gets bored. Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's just crazy dangerous. She took him back once out of fear, but the second time she gave no fucks. Oh man, yep, exactly. Queen Maeve is she's changing right before our eyes. And does he does seem to be like a natural BSer. Like Huey is kind of like fitting right into his role a little too easy. Like the way he got Ezekiel to give up that information, no problem when the phone was wet. Like he switched it up on the fly and made it happen. So he is kind of sinking right into his new role, isn't he? As like an espionage spy.
Like the butcher said, one day you murder someone, the next you can do anything.
And speaking of Billy, like I know he has his issues, but wasn't that a dick move busting up that tombstone his sister-in-law had just paid for and put in?
Yep. But it's not a hate crime though.
He said it's not a hate crime, but that was ruthless, man. I was like, God dang, dude, you just paid all that money. You know that ain't cheap. Just gonna go out there and bust it up. You didn't put it out there. You think Homelander has multiple suits? Like we never see this guy out of uniform. How musty and funky is that thing?
Damn, it never dawned on me. I gotta change his profile picture now.
Homelander got up in front of the crowd and decides to toss the corporate's mumbo jumbo into the trash and go with his gut. And he got that crowd all fired up, but I don't think the senators are going to take too kindly to that little speech that was way off script. Like, is that going to come back and bite him in the ass?
Nah. Surprisingly, it might actually work out because, as we see, it's going to end up working out for like Starlight in her speech.
Yeah, like he's the Homelander. He can basically do and say whatever he wants and get away with it.
Mm-hmm.
Allie with an eye was none too pleased with Homelander's little impromptu speech. Is that going to get him sent to floor 62?
What? Oh, what? 62.
Remember that floor that he's afraid to go to? Like he was talking stuff and threw that last speech on the floor, and she's like, "Oh, well, maybe we'll just send you up to floor 62, and you can talk to old boy about it." And he's like, "No, I'm good. I'll go ahead and give the speech."
Oh, I didn't know it was known as floor 62.
I believe that. What's that?
That probably went over my head.
Yeah, last episode.
I do remember she talked about, if you don't want to read that speech, we can go talk to like their true boss. Mm-hmm. That I remember.
Absolutely.
Floor went over my head.
He don't want to go up there. He's scared of that space. But Queen Maeve stops in to see an old friend, and it seems like they may have been more than just friends. Not only do we find out Queen Maeve is bisexual, but also a fan of the spirits. Like, is she really an alcoholic, or does she just drink to forget her problems of dealing with other corrupt soups?
Probably that.
You think it's just to drink the pain away? Like, because all the BS she has to deal with, especially with Homelander?
Most definitely.
Oh, man. Cherie calls Frenchie to tell him he's burned, and Black Nar was outside her place, and if he knows about that one, he probably knows about all of them. And, man, poor Frenchie is just running out of places to lay his little head at night, isn't he? How much money is this man losing?
A bunch. He's almost like Sid right now.
He got no place to stay, losing all his spots, people taking over. Like, that first place had so many guns and other stuff in there, like, probably millions of dollars he had to blow up on the fly just to get away from these guys. That ain't cool. And when Frenchie tells Billy he's burned, Billy tells him to leave the girl behind. Do you think there was any way he was ever going to do that?
Oh, hell no.
He is too enthralled with this little thing. And Starlight's getting ready for her big speech, but her conscience is getting the better of her. And she tries to tell her mom she's just not feeling it. But her mom gives her that guilt trip saying, "Do it for me. My friends will be watching." Like, there was some great parental guidance, huh, Mom?
Yo, I hated the mother. She was like, "This is all about me. I put you through this and that, all those beauty pageants." I was like, yo, if I heard that, instantly I've been like, you know what, after this, I'm out.
She was just totally like one of them pageant moms. Yeah, exactly. Like, it's all about me, and the reason I did this is for me. And it's like, whoa, what's really going on? Speaking of whoa, what's going on? We got the one and only Dragon in the chat. What's good, JD? Good to see you out there, brother. Oh, and the one true David Adams, too, popped in. What's up, man? Good to see you. Good to see you. Glad everybody's here. Hope you guys are enjoying the show, or did when you did watch it. Yeah, this one's absolutely amazing. Oh, AK says, yeah, JD, if I'd known you hadn't watched this yet either, I'd have put this schedule up with The Expanse. Oh, man, you got to get in on The Boys, man. It is absolutely amazing. If you haven't seen this yet, you got to get in on it. Start watching it now. Start binge it so you can be right there at season 2 when we started up here in about 2 weeks, week and a half. Absolutely.
Hold up. It just dawned on me. Is that a dolphin on your hat?
A dolphin? Yeah, Miami Dolphins.
Bro, the deep, the Dan.
Yeah, it's for the deep. It's not the Miami Dolphins while we're here. It's all about the deep. I am not on Team Deep though by any stretch of the means. I can't stand the deep. I was so happy when they finally got him. We're going to talk about that, but yeah, it's crazy. Oh yeah, Blood and Guts. Yeah, this is absolutely one of the greatest superhero shows of all time. Absolutely worth the watch if you have not gotten in. It is amazing. Love every minute of it. And it looks like the Lord was really working overtime on that Holy Roller stage. Like, not only did it cause Homelander to venture off script, but it also got Starlight. Like, she found her own voice, and she's like, I'm not getting bullied into saying anything I don't believe anymore. It's like she finally found her inner strength, didn't she?
Most definitely.
I think the Lord working through her. Said, not today. But Billy and Mother's Milk make their way through to the hospital and find out they find more than just the compound V. They actually found a baby soup, and Billy realizes soups aren't so much special as they are enhanced in a lab. Wasn't that kind of a trip to find out?
Exactly. I thought they were born that way, like freaking mutants from, Marvel. And it turns out that they were just cooking them in the lab.
Just order one right up, just straight off of Camino. I want me a clone soup. Let's get it. But Huey runs into a broken Starlight and tries to come somewhat clean to clear the air. And he tells her about Robin and how what she just said on stage was like the only honest and truthful thing he heard all day. And well, he really is a good spy, kind of intermingling, going that Dan Brown, intermingling the truth with fantasy and kind of making the story what he needs it to be.
Yep. I'm telling you, like, even though we first see Huey, I would not expect him to be this way.
No, like you said, even like Billy the Butcher says, kid, you're a natural. Like, he's sinking right into this role just a little too easy. And Starlight actually apologizes to him, and like, isn't this just going to make it that much worse when she ends up finding out the whole truth?
Oh, yes. It's kind of like Invincible when that chick found out the truth about Mark.
A little too much, too little too late in her sight. But as Billy and Mother's Milk are stealing some of Via's evidence, security comes in firing. Like, they came in shooting first, asking questions never. And they pinned down Billy, but Billy had a plan. Like, when he came around that corner holding the baby and using it to laser beam the guards in half, I was dying.
Top 5 moments of this entire season.
He's all holding it, just pointing his head, just zapping people. I was crying. Like,
they even made like a figure of the butcher, and one of the side accessories is literally the baby.
No way. They put out a pop like that? That's amazing. I might even need something like that. That is too dope. Was this hospital? Was this the hospital that Allie with an eye had brought her baby to earlier when Homelander dropped in when he was bitching about his speech? Like, do you think this is the same hospital?
I was honestly thinking the exact same thing. Like, does she want her own kid to become a suit?
Yeah, that's the next question. Like, if that was the same hospital, do we think, like, does Allie with an eye's baby already have powers?
Could be possible. Or powers enough to combat Homelander.
Wow, you think that's what it would be? Is like maybe she's getting somebody on her own side that's more powerful, or somebody that can actually stand up to him, so they actually have something like they can a deterrent for him? Because right now it's basically do what I say or I'll kill you.
Exactly. That's instantly. If I had that much pull and power, like instantly, make sure I get a kid, juice up that kid that can combat Homelander.
Shout out to the deep with this punk ass. Absolutely. And yeah, you're right, Celebrity Bikini. This is a beautiful hat. We love those dolphins. Oh man, Florida's crazy, but we love our dolphins. Oh man, wait till you see what happens to him next season. Yeah, I can't wait. I'm so excited to see season 2. I'm so glad we're finally getting through this so I can finally watch season 2. It's been way too long. Yeah, them guards came in, shoot first, shoot second, never ask any questions, just get it done. That was crazy. Only Butcher could make that look so cool. When he came around with that baby, I'm telling you, you're right. That was one of the greatest scenes in this entire show. I mean, that was amazing. I was dying. But Allie with an eye catches Homelander, like, getting his peeping Tom on, and, like, just tells him to come in already. Like, she tells him he can't be a bad boy anymore. Like, then pops a few buttons on her blouse and tells him to come sit with Mama. Like, what's going on with their relationship? Like, that was such a step too far. Like, when he started sucking on her fingers, I was like, all the gore we've seen in this show, but I guess showing a nipple's just a step too far. was like, come on.
Oh my gosh, I'm telling you, his mama issues is ridiculous.
Oh, the sucking on the fingers was just overboard. I was just like, all right, you're losing me with this one. This is too much. Too much. And then we see Frenchie trying to get away, but Black Nar has tracked him down. And I was getting excited, like, ooh, we finally going to get to see some skills out of this man. And it looks like it's just about to be curtains for Frenchie when Black Nar jumps right in front of him. But just before he strikes, he gets blasted from the side. And, we see the female comes in. She's got some straight skills of her own. And then Frenchie takes his chance to bounce as the female and Black Noir square off, and they seem fairly even matched, but the Black Noir pulls out the knives and finally gets the better of her. And he slices her near in half and just leaves her there and dead in the middle of the road. Like, did you think she was a goner right then?
Yep. And I was like, wow, this is a waste of a character.
Right? Exactly. I was kind of the same way. I was like, no, they didn't just kill her off like that. But nay, Frenchie comes back and starts to mourn her death, but something strange happens. She starts to self-heal and comes back to life. And Frenchie is elated, even more so like when she gingerly like grabs his hand. It looks like he finally did break through to her. I was like, oh man, what do you think about this episode?
I'm thinking at what point could she not heal herself? Like head cut off? Could she heal? Cut in half? Could she heal?
Like how deep are her skills? Because she was almost split all the way in half, and she ends up making it through and coming back. So like, yeah, how far gone does she have to be before it's too much? But yeah, this episode was absolutely amazing. I was loving every step of it, and yeah, this show's got me hook, line, and sinker. It would be amazing. Like if it was HBO, it would be toes, not fingers. Absolutely. Absolutely. We need this on one of the pay-per-view channels. Actually bring it up. Because, yeah, I was like, all the blood and guts and gore you're going to do in here, but a nipple is a step too far. We got to have them sucking on fingers. I was like, oh, my God. But then we roll right into season 1, episode 6, and this one's called The Innocents. And how crazy was that open with the soups commercial? Like, so cheesy. And what was it with, like, Homelander, like, bobbing that kid on the dinosaur, making it look like Barney was giving him a job right there in the park? I was like, what the hell? You notice that?
That was probably like the most weirdest scene in that whole entire commercial. It was like, boy, just chill. Just let him rock with the whole damn freaking dinosaur Homelander.
I was like, what are they trying to show here? And had a kid in the scene too. I was like, come on, there's some limits we just can't go through. Like that was just way too much. Oh man. One True David Adams says the only way it could be more wild is if it was a Quentin Tarantino show. I'm telling you, these guys are going off the rails on some of it. But Starlight's taking a break, and she's gone dark on the socials. She's having more fun just hanging out with Huey on the DL. And how big a cock blocker is Anthony? So supposedly Huey's best-looking friend? Like, what a douche. Like, sees you there on a date and just invites himself to sit in on some drinks? I'd be like, beat feet, dickhead. Three's a crowd.
Not only that, there's been like what the 6th episode in, and he's now introducing it like the friend is now a thing. Like, where the hell were you this whole time?
Yeah, I didn't see you out there consoling him or having any shoulders for my man to cry on when his girl got imploded. Like, that was crazy. Oh yeah. Oh, did I not say episode? Yep, we're on episode 6. Did I say 5? Yeah, we're definitely on episode 6 on this one.
Don't look at the thumbnail.
Yeah, exactly. I had to redo the thumbnail. I put the wrong numbers on that one, trying to hurry too quick. But then Huey proceeds to tell them, or then his friend Anthony proceeds to tell the most demeaning stories possible about his so-called best friend. And even when he's talking to him at the bar, like he had to get in that one last shot, like, live your life. That's what Robin would have wanted you to do. I was like, what an asshat. I didn't like the friend at all.
Like, how are you going to mention the ex-dead girlfriend?
While you're on a date with another girl.
Uh,
Nothing nice about that man. I didn't like Anthony at all. But Homelander's in the middle of shooting another propaganda commercial when he sees a blanket on top of his bed, and it just set him off. What was that all about?
And we got to see from Gotham, Falcone.
Falcone makes an appearance. And while the crew are putting all the pieces of the puzzle together, and they're getting a pretty clear picture of what's really going on with the V, the one thing they're not clear about is the female. Like, she's an enigma, and she is a dangerous one at that. Like, if you're a part of that crew, would you get it within 10 feet of that little girl?
Hell no. Frenchie, you got the balls, man.
The Frenchie don't care. Like, he was going to make friends regardless. I'm like, stay away from this little girl. She's going to rip your face off. And what was that logo or sign she kept making?
I guess it was a terrorist thing or something. I don't know.
Well, yeah, we find out later that it's actually like a picture of the moon with like the trees on it. I was like, how would anybody ever figure that out? Like that those are leaves from a tree looking out a window up at the moon. I was like, how is that supposed to tie into anything? I thought that was crazy.
Unless you're Sherlock Holmes.
Right? But I did love how Starlight has learned to play the game. Like when Madeline comes at her with that bitchy, condescending tone, Starlight just smiles and tells her exactly where she can put that fake ass smile. I love that scene. It's like, nah, I don't do that anymore. I'm going to do it my way. I was like, yeah, get it. I was so happy. But out to the deep, recording more propaganda commercials. And that was so sweet when he was trying to flirt in the middle of his commercial. Like, he's trying to be all, he's like, hey, what's up?
That's not going to help out his case later.
Oh, man, the deep is just something else. But A-Train's also filming some commercials, and he's definitely looking a little off. Like, is he starting to unravel a little bit about killing Popclaw, one of the few people who actually gave a shit about him?
Man, now he has regrets. It seemed like he didn't even hesitate when he killed her.
Yeah, he did. It does seem like he really loved her, but, I mean, too scared of Homelander. What are you going to do? You got Homelander lurking above you. You got to do what you got to do to keep your head on his shoulders. That was a pissy little chat between Queen Maeve and Starlight in the elevator. Like that last shot when Starlight said, I'm pretty sure that was all just written by the marketing guys. You think it was, or did Maeve like really visit all those kids that she saved in the bus afterwards? Like, is she truly a hero at heart, or is she just kind of rolling with it?
No, I think that's kind of like Maeve's character.
You think Queen Maeve was really a hero, but she just kind of getting derailed by the Vought Corporation? They're kind of corrupting her?
Yep.
That could be, and that's what's driving her to drink so much. That could be it, absolutely. Oh, snap. But the female seems to connect with Frenchie more and more each day, and I still like him and Mother's Milk together the best. Like, the best I can do for you is tattoo a fuck no on your ass. Like, those two together are awesome. And we see where Billy was taking Huey like to a collateral damage meeting where it's comprised of other regs who had been marred or paralyzed from soup encounters. And that was kind of a weird scene to see, like, they're not the only ones these soups have messed up, but they actually have like control groups trying to get through this because they mess up so many people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that is outlandish. It's like, these guys aren't nothing nice. It's like, you're just out there ruining the world. And I mean, can you imagine going through all the trouble of bringing a soup to orgasm just to have her freeze your dick off? I mean, come on. Like, that is just ruthless. That one dude talking about the ice princess, I was like, yeah, that's why you just don't date soups. Billy's got the right idea trying to get it in Huey's head. Or should Huey just be like, brush him off and be like, nope, Starlight's different and I love her?
First off, if you're going to have sex with a soup, make sure that that soup's abilities ain't going to kill you during sex.
Dude, I mean, yeah, you start going with an ice queen, you should kind of know and have be ready to pull out quick because, oh my God, can you imagine a worse? Yeah, that's the worst situation I could ever even think of. That's awful. Do your job, bring her right up to what you're supposed to do, and that's your payment, losing your junk for it. Oh my God. But was Billy right to go off on the group, like screaming at them all, like, where's your rage? Or should he be a little more understanding with them?
Understanding.
I don't know. I'm kind of with him. Like, they're all sitting there crying. Like, oh boy, he's like sitting there crying like he wants to get back with the Ice Queen that literally froze his junk off. I mean, how sick in the head are you, man? Let that go. You should want to kill her, not want to get back with her. That was nuts. I don't know. I'm kind of on Billy's side on that one for once.
Nah, that man is just prejudiced towards every single soup.
Yeah, he hates them all. And back at Vought Industries, Allie with an eye is trying to get out in front of the Deep's misdoings publicly, and she has him film an apology video and puts him on the sabbatical from the Seven. Like, it was nice to finally see the Deep get his.
Mm-hmm. Should have happened sooner.
I'm telling you. And speaking of getting his, we see who Frenchie was talking about. The mesmer is none other than Haley Joel Osment, and he is all grown up now. I was like, that's kind of a trip. I wasn't expecting to see him in there. And he has definitely.
The dude from, at first I thought that was the dude from Home Alone. But it's the one from The Sixth Sense.
Yeah, exactly. But it's funny to see him all grown up and bigger now. And they find him at a washed-up B-side hero meet and greet. And man, all I was thinking of was, with a power like that, how are you ever left wanting? Like, is it just the fame that he's still in there for? Because it seems like he should be able to hook it up and get whatever he needs with a power like that.
True, but it seems like he stopped. Because first he did the insider trading thing, which was brilliant. But then it just seems like he's just living off whatever he's doing with these celebrity meetings.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you can get that insider trading, or you can just touch people and get hookups like that, your finances should be fine. So it just tells me like he's just in there for the fame of it all. It kind of seems like that's what it does boil down to. But Mother's Milk hooks it up so he can start visiting his daughter once a week. And after getting that, he's all in. Who do you need me to read? And then we see Huey and Billy sitting on a park bench, and it looks like Billy's about to open up and tell his story. And he says that Homelander raped his wife 8 years ago, and she hasn't been seen since. And it's like, oh my God. Again, what could you ever do in that situation? You want to do nothing but kill this man and remove his head from his body, and what can you do? Nothing.
Because that's Homelander.
Dude, that is just the ultimate rage. I cannot imagine being that mad and not being able to do something about it. I would lose my shit. I would die because I'd go out trying to find a way. That's for damn sure. But Billy tells Huey they're doing this for their dead women, and so he can't get involved with another bird, especially not a soup. And I don't know, do you think that was sound advice or the worst advice ever? Like, Huey should be jumping at the chance to date Starlight, shouldn't he?
Nah, he needs time to heal because he's still seeing dead Robin everywhere.
he needs some more time. Oh, he needs some more time to mourn. Did Allie with an eye like all of a sudden get hot and like just need to take her jacket off when she went to see Homelander, or does she just purposely like showcase the girls whenever Homelander's around to keep him in check?
Keep him in check. That's the only reason.
Oh man, just she knows exactly how to wield them. That's just crazy. And just how tight a line is she walking with this power fantasy? Like the way she like felt him up to get him to tell the mommy story was so creepy.
She knows how to play him.
Oh, dude, it's like, yeah, that was like, I thought she was just kind of enticing here and there, but no, she's straight up feeling him up and giving like, yeah, that's crazy. There's no way that her baby is actually his, is there?
No, I never thought of that.
Like, it's just the way they go about it. I mean, he seems to hate her, so probably not, but it's just crazy.
We never even got to meet the father.
What's that?
We never even got to meet like the father of this baby.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So are they trying to say that there's a chance that it was Homelander's, or it's like, what is it? Like, he seems to hate the baby. So even if it is his, I don't think he knows, but I don't know. It's just weird that, yeah, their whole relationship is just off. It's crazy. But the crew get to Mesmer's place so he can get a read on the female. And on the first tie, she freaks out and breaks his wrist. Like, who didn't see that coming? Like, dude, Frenchie can barely touch her. You think some stranger's just going to come and get at her like that? It's like, what were they thinking? Then Billy calls. What's that?
Facts.
Yeah. And Billy calls to find out where everybody's at. And when Mother's Milk lies, he calls it and says, like, I have your phone on Track Your Shithead Friends app. I was like, why does anybody put up with that asshole? Like, how is anybody even still dealing with Billy the Butcher by now?
I don't know. At this point, he was in for the ride.
I'd have told him to go jump in the lake by now. That's for damn sure. And now it's Queen Maeve's turn to put on the propaganda machine. And while she's filming her BS video, her ex-girlfriend shows up. Like, that was kind of a bitch move, wasn't it? Show up at your ex's workplace? Like, that's about as uncool as it gets, isn't it?
I mean, in previous episodes, she was just painting, and then boom, she just comes out of nowhere asking for a cat.
I'm like, hey, I mean, I understand you care for her and you have feelings, but still, you don't just show up to your ex's workplace and cause a scene. Like, that's as dirty as it gets. But speaking of showing up, Billy shows up to Mesmer's house, and he's not happy the rest of the crew involved him. But now they're here, so they might as well give it a go. And do they find out the female is? They do find out that the female is part of a terrorist organization, and Frenchie is none too pleased. He's like, I just fell in love with a terrorist. He is heated. And then as the Vought group is breaking down the fake Homelander house, he sees the blanket that sent him off in the trash. And like, what is it about that blanket that gets him so riled up? And then we see like it's one of his only memories as a child. So it's like, looks like you can get, it's like that's the only way to even deal with Homelander is emotionally, try to break him down emotionally. Like that's a tightrope to watch or to walk.
That's a crazy childhood. He was pretty much just a lab rat.
I know they're sitting there like playing peekaboo through the door with him as he just sits in an empty room. Like, what a miserable childhood that is. Like, no wonder he's such a psychopath.
Mm-hmm.
But our crew put two and two together and realized Vought is creating supervillains for the Supes to battle so as to help fast track their role into the services. And that's just, I mean, wow, what a devious. I mean, talk about playing the long game. That's so dirty.
It is, and it's smart.
I mean, I guess, and if for the long game, it's smart, but man, that's scary. What if one of them gets stronger than your Supes and now you're just really screwed, which is probably what's going to happen in the end. But the female finally shows Mesmer exactly who she is, and we even got a name, Komiko, and she wants nothing more than to go home and save her little brother from the terrorist group that kidnapped him. So, I mean, you can't be too mad at her, and then I know Frenchie's happy that she's not really a terrorist. And then Billy takes the Compound V to Agent Raynor, and he says it's time for the FBI to get involved. And then Agent Raynor says, like, she can give Billy everything he wants off that list, except for, of course, the main thing that he wants, which is to prosecute Homelander to the fullest extent of the law. But, I mean, how would anybody even exercise that? Like, what are you going to do? Just put Homelander in handcuffs? Like, shouldn't he have been a little more understanding about that?
Nope. In reality, that's like the only thing he really wanted. It was Homelander.
Yeah, but wasn't that pretty greedy and petty for Butcher to like basically fuck off that entire deal? Like he could have gotten his whole crew paid and with an office up and running, and he's like no and throws it all away just because he can't get over the fact that like arresting Homelander is a non-starter.
Hey, his whole motivation of starting everything was Homelander.
And I get it, like that's his end all be all, but you got to start somewhere. Like get this, and then maybe take it to the next step and try to get to him. But I don't know. I mean, dude, you got all your boys out here basically risking their lives, and the FBI's ready to pony up and give them all fat checks and hook them up. And you're like, no, I don't get my way, so nobody gets nothing. Oh, that just made me hate Billy right there. I'm like, dude, hook your boys up anyway. I mean, they're putting their lives on the line, giving up everything. Frenchie's blown up 3 houses already because of you. Like, dude, you owe this man this money, and you just fucked that deal off. I was irritated.
Just think about it, even in the previous episode when like Frenchie got burned, immediately he's like, "Do they burn the rest of us?" It's always been like, I don't know, this is like Homelander and Butcher, narcissist, selfish.
So Bikini says everybody wants Homelander dead. It was dumb. Yeah, I mean everybody does, but yeah, exactly. I don't know. I think you take the money and work from there. I thought it was crazy that he just spit on that deal and walked out the door. I was like, man, hook your boys up, you asshat. You owe them at least that. But back at Vought, Starlight gets a text, and it looks like Madeline has turned her lemons into lemonade. She's spinning the Starlight story into an actual show, exactly what Starlight didn't want. She did, however, get the consolation prize of a heartfelt apology from the Queen herself. So it looks like Starlight and Queen Maeve may actually be starting to get along. That could help her out in the long run.
Mm-hmm.
Frenchie really has created a bond with Komiko. Like, he asked if she wanted to go home or stay and help end the people that did this to her, and she instantly just grabs his hand, kind of letting him know that she's staying with him. That was kind of cute. Like, oh my God, it finally broke through all that time. You're kind of wondering if it would. And then Billy comes in and tells them all the big lie that Agent Raynor got cold feet. Like, he's such a piece of shit. And then, and then he asks, where's Huey? But it's Mesmer we flash to, and he's meeting somebody on the roof, and of course it's none other than Homelander. And Billy was right; they should have just killed this cat. Like, of course he's going to do anything to get back into the 7 and with Vought. Like Billy,
I thought he wanted to meet his daughter.
No, but he did. But he could just tell, like the daughter, like he could tell when he touched her. The daughter just did that to be nice. She didn't want anything to do with him. So I don't know, scumbag like this, you got to know he's going to be shady and turn on you. I don't know, they should have been smarter in expecting this. It looks like Huey lucked into another date with Starlight, and he's asking her about her earliest memories of having powers to see if Hunter's feelings are right, or see if Billy's feelings are right. And how horrible would that be? Like, you're just trying to get over your dead girlfriend. You literally meet an amazing woman, but now every time the two of you are together, you see the ghost of your dead girlfriend just standing there. How creepy is that?
I forgot like what other show or something where it's just the ghost of someone just keeps coming and coming. It's like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, that would be creepy as hell. But it looks like Huey may have found the cure for getting rid of those visions. He finally kisses Starlight. And again, like, I don't know. Is he going down the right road? How scary would that be dating a soup? And if you ever upset him, that's just curtains. But as Huey has his tongue halfway down Starlight's throat, who else but Billy Butcher walks in to break it up. And he reminds Huey of what it's going to be like when Starlight finds out Huey killed Translucent. We almost forget about that part of it. Like, isn't Huey a little naive thinking he could just be with Starlight and live happily ever after? Like, Billy's right. One truth or another would eventually come out. Huey's going to be in a bad spot.
I mean, Huey ain't lying, you know.
What's that?
He's not really lying.
He's not really telling the truth. And like I said, when she finds out that he killed Translucent, that's going to put a whole new spin on things.
But that was all self-defense.
Was it? I mean, Translucent was stuck in a cage, not able to get nobody. What's the self-defense about that? You have him trapped in a cage, and then you blew his body everywhere. I don't know. Can that really be called self-defense? Like, it is in the long run, because he just told you as soon as he gets out, he's going to kill everybody you've ever known or loved. But
exactly.
Right now he's in a cage. Homelander did your wife dirty. Hating all soups because of it is unacceptable. That's true. I mean, you got one soup that does you dirty. You can't. Why he has such hate and despise for all of them. But again, just that feeling. This man raped your wife, might have killed her, and there's nothing you can do about it. I could see that tainting me against all soups if I was in that situation. Because you want nothing more than to destroy and kill this person, but you can't. They're too powerful. Like, that would just be the ultimate rage. I can't even imagine dealing with something like that. Celebrity Bikini's like, I'd risk it for Starlight. Hell yeah. You got a chance at a woman like that, the ultimate suit, let's get it. I'll take my chances. Oh, absolutely amazing. I am loving this series, and I am all in. Like I said, the rewatch is just bringing all the feels back. And it's actually reminding me of a bunch of stuff that I had forgotten about. So I am absolutely 100% all in on the rewatch. What do you think of these last two episodes?
They weren't as good as 4 and 5. This is mainly like more setup.
Kind of setting it up for the finale.
For like Kimiko with the terrorist thing, Black Noir with the whole soups being, you know, cooked up in the lab.
So what like answers do you want? Like, I think we have 2 more episodes left in this season. Like, what do you want them to hash out, and what answers do we need by the end of the finale?
Black Noir.
Yeah, show me something. Show me some skills. What's he really got? What's his face like? Who is he under there? Like, is he just as evil as everybody else, which he seems to be, but maybe not? Like, definitely need some background on that. And what's up with these babies? Like, does Allie with an ice baby have superpowers, or is it just a regular baby? And like I said, the way they're doing it and kind of this weird relationship between Homelander and her, like, is there any chance whatsoever that that's actually Homelander's baby? Like, maybe he doesn't even know it. Maybe they got like, you know, maybe they got some his seed earlier and just kept it in a vial and basically an artificial insemination type deal. Like, who knows what's going on with all that? But I'm excited to find out. Looks like we got 2 episodes left, and we can finally, or at least I can finally get into watching season 2 that I've been looking so forward to. But absolutely loving the ride. Hope everybody else is too. And we're definitely going to be back next Tuesday to wrap up season 1 for The Boys. Hope everybody out there is enjoying the ride as much as I am and having an absolutely fantastic week. And it only gets better from here. And until we see you next time, everybody, be easy.